There's something about dice rolling games that is just both simple and thrilling. Hoping that luck is on your side and either feeling the joy or betrayal of the dice's results. Many board game developers have thought of creative ways to incorporate dice rolling as the main component of the game, but also incorporating different mechanics to either make the theme of the overall game or just the overall game mechanics in general that much more fun. Today, we're going to talk about some of my favorite dice rolling games.
We'll start with the classic Yahtzee. I was introduced to this game as young as 6 or 7 whenever I was given the Disney Yahtzee game. Yahtzee is simple. You get 3 roll attempts to try and create the best combo of matching numbers to fill up your scoreboard. You do this until you have all of your slots filled or run out of opportunities to fill those slots. You use ideas from card games like 3 of a kind, small straight, large straight, and the iconic 5 of a kind Yahtzee. You'll fill up the scoreboard as best you can with the luck of the rolls that you get, and the person with the highest score wins. This game is a great one to play solo if you are fine with that high-risk, high-reward dice rolling game, as well as a simple party game to play with a group of people. This is the game that got me into all the other dice games I will be talking about. Want to step up from Yahtzee? My new favorite solo or party dice rolling game is Ganchon Clever, or That's Pretty Clever, a roll and write game, introduced to me by my good friend Mackenzie Franklin on Side Game LLC. Adding one more die to the mix, players will still get 3 roll attempts to get the best roll they can. But each roll, a player must choose a colored die. The overwhelming looking scorecard is what will help players choose what die to go for. Each colored section has its own unique scoring method, so you'll want to really pay attention to your choices. The additional benefit of That's Pretty Clever is that your choices will affect the other players as well, making it more interactive with the group, unlike Yahtzee. If a player chooses a die that has a higher value than any other die in the pool, that dice with the lower value will get put into the community pool immediately. Once the player has rolled all 3 times and chosen their dice, the remaining dice are placed into the community pool for each other player to choose. Each other player chooses 1 die to mark on their scorecards, so your choices can really hurt or help the other players into gaining high scores. Then it will move on to the next player who will get their 3 dice and put the remaining dice into the pool, and go on and go on. The player with the most points at the end of at least 4 rounds wins. This game, though seemingly overcomplicated at the beginning, has become easily our favorite dice game to play and introduce to friends for a chill game night, but it still has enough of a competitive edge to it. It's also extremely fun as a solo game, so it's a win-win all around. Another roll and write game is Longshot. Take the idea of gambling for the Kentucky Derby and put it into a dice rolling game. There are always 8 horses placed in the arena. Each player gets their own scoring sheet and $12 to their name. They will also get a starting card to mark certain places off their sheet and base bets on random horses. Each player will roll the 2 unique dice, one to represent the numbered horse and the other to tell how many spaces that horse moved around the track. When that horse moves, there will be a corresponding horse on that card that states another horse will move a space as well. You use the left side of your score sheet to cross off numbers and icons, like in bingo, to achieve certain perks or actions, adding additional horses to other horse cards to move up during the race, and so on. The right side is for betting. You can bet on multiple horses during the race, as well as buying a horse to win extra cash at the end of the game if it places in the top 3. The high risk of this game is obviously how the rolls go. Each player can change the game and outcome of the race in a matter of moments, making this a risky, tense game until the end. You tally your winnings on how the race turned out, how you filled out your score sheet, and how well you saved or spent your money in the end. The person who made the most money wins. Speaking of gambling, Las Vegas Royale gives players another feel of push-your-luck dice rolling, with both simpler rules and variant games. Around the board in each casino, there will be a number of cash prizes for the players to go for, but you can only put your hands in so many baskets. Just like all of the classic dice games, players will get 3 rolls to place as many dice as they want into each corresponding casino that matches their dice's value. With Las Vegas Royale, you get 7 ordinary dice and 1 larger die to go with your collection. Your larger die counts for 2 die, making it your wild card during the game. The person with the most dice in each casino will receive the top cash prize, the second most, and so on. And like I said, you can play it this simple way, or you can put specific games out for each casino, following the rules of each board piece and playing more risky games and earning more moolah. The player with the most money at the end of the game wins. Spots is an adorable addition to the push your luck dice rolling games on this list. Each player starts with 3 adorable doggy cards, each with their own unique dogs, their name, and specific dice values. All players will have a pool of actions to choose from, allowing them to roll a certain amount of dice according to that action. Once all but one action is used, that remaining action will receive a doggy bone, a re-roll essentially, and whoever chooses that action will receive that free re-roll to hold onto. The risks comes in the dice value. If you can place any matching dice onto your dogs, great. But if you have any left over that don't match your dog cards, you have to put them in your personal yard. If the dice in your yard exceed the value of 7, you bust, removing all dice from any dogs that you haven't collected back to the pool. It's a game of pushing your luck and collecting precious pups. The first person to flip and collect 6 dog cards is the winner. The artwork's so stinking cute, and the simplicity of this game is made for a great quick game. Plus, the variations of each action category make it so that the gameplay doesn't get dull quickly. Our last game is Cubitos. Cubitos is a dice-rolling, pool-building strategy race game. All players will simultaneously roll their 9 starting dice to collect money and feet to move their character forward in the race. The money will disappear at the end of each round unless it's a square or dollar earned during the round, so you'll want to use your money wisely. There will be 8 different colored dice to choose from and add to your pool during the game. Similar to spots, there are variants of each of these cards, each with their own silly names and abilities. Depending on how you're doing in the race, the more or less dice you can use from your pool to move forward and spend. There will also be a large die that gets passed around to all players each new round, giving them a free boost. The first person to pass the finish line is the winner. There are plenty of ways to strategize and go about this game, along with the risk and luck of how your dice roll. If you roll all blanks, you also bust, not moving or getting to spend any of the dice you rolled that round. So, you have to decide when to push or when to hold back. Will you be the hare or the tortoise in this zany game?
Hey nerds, what's up? I hope that you all enjoyed this specific board game video that I made today talking about dice rolling games. I am a fan of dice rolling games. As you can see, we own Yahtzee and Ganchon Clever. Ganchon Clever. That's pretty clever. But I would love to know what dice rolling games you guys like and list them down below. Do you even like dice rolling games? Also give me your opinion down below. I know that it's not controversial. It's just a certain taste for everybody. Some people really enjoy dice rolling and some people don't. They prefer more strategy, not relying solely on luck. So I'd love to know your opinions down below. So please, please, please comment and press a like if you did enjoy this video. Anyway, I appreciate if you did get to the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.